All right, now that we've got our lighting set up, I'm going to take some time to make the materials right and show you how to do V-Ray materials in the latest version, which is also pretty much similar to the older versions. So what I did to start us off is put a middle gray material on everything so we can be starting from scratch, and it's really just a default V-Ray material right here. So if you go to materials, go to V-Ray, V-Ray material, make sure the color is set at middle gray, which it is by default. That's what I've done here. So let's start adding materials to this. We've done this before in the class, but this is a good refresher, and this is with new software. So if there's anything different, you'll see the difference. Let's start with one of these windows, and we'll isolate it by going here. And of course, this will need a multi-matte material because we need glass and a wood frame on the window. And it's all the same object. So you can see that one side of this window was created and then symmetry to the other side. So all we'll need to do is go into polygon subobject mode, go onto this side. Actually, everything was already selected because of the way we created it. So this would be all the wood material. So let's take this and drag it to the next one. And let's put just a color on it so we can see the difference. Put something like wood. And apply it. And let's call it wood. Now if you go to edit, select invert, let's copy that one, and make this glass, make it black for the diffuse, and apply it here. There you go, it's as simple as that. You have these two materials, and they're actually instanced into a new material. If you grab it off this window with the eyedropper, pick material from object, grab it, and you'll see here's this new material, which is a multi-subobject material. Multi-subobject is just one of the standard materials you can find in Max under General, multi-subobject. What that means is material ID number 2 has wood on it, which is instanced from here. Material ID number 1 has glass on it, which is instanced from there. If you go into your polygon subobjects, you'll see if you go down to polygon material IDs, that's material ID 1 matching with glass. This should be material ID 2 matching with wood. Now you can of course do all this manually by creating a multi-subobject material and putting different materials in those slots and then changing the material IDs on your object. But if you go to customize preferences, right here it'll say submaterials under general tab, submaterials assign automatically, which is exactly what we're doing. I believe that's default, but if it's not working for you, make sure that's checked. Okay, and that automatically creates that subobject material for you. So that's how you go in and start building the materials. Now make sure to go to the top of the modifier list again. Now if that window is instanced as it is across here, we know this is symmetrical, so it should be the same window over here. You can see the materials already applied there as well. So we can go through and start doing this for all the different materials. Be the same process for all of them. Now that we have this material already, we can just apply it. We want to make sure we're not in subobject mode when we apply that. And you can see that everything is reversed on this one because our material IDs aren't right. So if we go to polygon again, make sure that is set to material ID 1, set ID 1, and then select inverse, set ID 2. Now we should be good on that one as well. Go out of subobject mode. There we go. So now that one matches as well. We can do this, if we do this with this one window here, and you can see that's all one object there, one edit poly. So we actually need to make one more material. I'll show you how to do that. Drag this one here, that makes a copy of it, and then add another material to it. We'll make sure that it's a V-Ray material. Drag that one, copy it, don't instance it. And we'll call this one precast stone. We'll make it this kind of warm stone color like that. Make it a little darker. Okay. Great, now we can do this window surround in the precast stone. This can be wood in here, and this can be glass. So let's apply it real quick. Window with stone for the overall material. You can see the material IDs aren't right. Let's select by element. Oh, that's all one element, so that won't work. These elements will work. They want to be number 3. Set ID to 3, like that. And then here we can select this polygon and this polygon, and then grow out from there. Grow, grow, grow to right there. Set that all to 3. Okay, good. Let's select the glass and set it to 1. Edit. Select invert. Now this is going to be tricky. We have to deselect everything that we don't want to be wood. Should be that, 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 and that. And I'm holding down Alt and surrounding what I don't want to select. So there we go. That's all the wood stuff right there. We can set that to 2. And then we're done. Now you can see that that window's copied in a couple different places. Well, really just on the garage because it's a different size. This is the one that's copied all over the place. So let's get that one going. And that's pretty much it. You can do that and start applying these different materials. And if they're not sub-object materials, if they're just one material like this wall right here, then of course you can just create a new V-Ray material and put a bitmap in there for your stucco. Let's call this color. Now the reason I'm putting everything as just a solid color right now is because I just need to assign all my materials to the right places. Then I can go back and edit the materials. And of course, it will update on the actual object. Now see this, we want precast. So we already created the precast, but it's buried in this multi-sub-object material. All we need to do is drag that out, make sure it's an instance, because we only want one precast material. So when we edit it here, it's obviously going to edit there. We can assign that to those coins. Lots of precast. All these are going to be precast. Precast, precast. Okay, now you see the benefit of having instanced things in your scene. Some things that I should have instanced that I didn't also. Okay, so you can see how it's easy to just go around and start applying materials to everything. So that's the basics of how you get this done. You can also just drag and drop things like this right onto your objects in your scene. That's not my preferred way, but you can do that. Okay, so I'll go through and start applying all these materials, and then in the next video we'll show how to start editing these materials so they start looking good.